All right, I'm going to demonstrate a few variations of a sideways lean supported with the wall. And this is all toward lengthening out the QL and really get into the deep muscles of the core that help you go laterally and just kind of loosen things up. So I'm using a yoga block here, and this is just a foam block, nothing too sophisticated. And I'm going to have this at the wall and have my hip against it. Now, I'm going to use the wall to brace my weight so I can just focus on my torso moving back and forth and focus on the action of my core. So the outside foot's going to be forward, the inside foot is going to be back. So my left foot's forward, my right foot's back, and the block is on my right hip. Now this is all going to be about leaning over to the right and lengthening out my left side. So I'm just going to keep my hip pressed into the wall and keep my hips squared forward. So I'm not twisting either direction here. I'm just going to keep leaning so that the block doesn't fall down. Now I'm just going to keep my right arm behind me. It's not going to be working or anything, but my left arm is going to be part of the action here. So I'm going to lean over to the right as far as I can, and then come back up, and then again, lean for 2, and come back up, lean for 3, and then come back up, lean for 4, and come back up, lean for 5, and then come back up. And this isn't really a dramatic movement here, but you definitely feel the lengthening along the side of your midsection, in between the ribcage and the pelvis. And this is one way to start out, and it's probably the most basic way to go into the movement. All right, so I have another variation of this sideways lean, and this time I'm going to use an elastic band to engage more tension through the side of my body. So my outside foot's going to be forward, my inside foot's going to be back. I'm putting my weight, or putting the block rather, to my right hip, and I'm going to keep leaning against the wall so the block stays supported. Now, I'm going to take this band, and my right arm's back, my left arm is going up and over. I'm stretching out my left side as I do this, keep in mind. So I'm going to wrap this just lightly around my left hand so I don't have to grip too hard. And then with my right hand, I'm going to pull the band down. Now how you do this exactly depends on how much resistance you want. So I'm going to keep my right hip pressing to the block. And then with my right hand, I'm going to pull and lean to the right. And come back up for 1. And then lean again. And then back up for 2. Lean again. And then bring it up for 3, lean again, and bring it up for 4, lean again, and then bring it up for 5. And you can take this as far as you like. I could have used a lot more tension if I wanted to, and you can always go lighter if you need to, but you've got the tension with the elastic band, so you've got all the control, and you can vary this as you go, and I'd recommend doing high reps with this kind of thing. All right, I got one more variation of this sideways lean, and this is going to be with added weight. This is a 10-pound dumbbell. So I'm still going to have my right hip pressing against the block, pushing that into the wall. My left foot's forward, my right foot's back. So the outside foot's forward. I'm going to keep my hips squared as I take this laterally. And let's bring my right arm behind. Now, I'm going to use this weight and bring it up and over so that when I lean, I'm going to feel a lot more as I come to the side. And then lift back up. I'm just going to try to hold that stretch and hold that length. And then bring it over for 2. And lift back up. Lean for 3. And then lift back up. And lean for 4. And then lift back up. And then lean for 5. And then lift back up. And it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but this is still a good amount of weight, and you can still feel it along the side of the rib cage and moving in the midsection, and that's what we're really looking for here.